Hello students, welcome to video classes. So in the last class we have discussed about the expansion of the liquids. Yesterday only we have started. Okay, so in the case of liquids, when you are giving the heat energy, the liquids does not have the linear expansion and the aerial expansion. Okay, what is the reason? The reason is the liquids does not have particular shape. That's why the liquids does not have the linear and the aerial expansion. But the liquids will have the volume expansion because each and every liquid will have a particular volume. So the liquids are going to have the volume expansion, and this volume expansion is again classified into two types. What is the reason? The reason is the liquids cannot be heated directly. Definitely we need a container. Okay, we are going to take the liquids in a container, and after that we are going to heat them. So that's why we are going to consider the expansion of the container also. So based on the expansion of the container, what happened? The volume coefficient of expansion of the liquids are classified into two types. One is called the coefficient of apparent expansion, and the second is called the coefficient of real expansion. The coefficient of apparent expansion can be represented by gamma A, and the coefficient of real expansion can be represented by gamma R. Okay, whether either you can use the capital R's or small r's also you can use. Okay, the coefficient of apparent expansion and the coefficient of real expansion. Okay, the coefficient of apparent volume expansion, the coefficient of real volume expansion. Okay, so these are the two types of the coefficients are there in the case of liquids. You must remember the reason. What is the reason? Because the liquids cannot be heated directly. So based on the expansion of the container, what happened? It will be classified. Out of gamma A and gamma R, which one will depends on the expansion of the container? Gamma A represents on the expansion of the container. Gamma R does not depends on the expansion of the container. And also we are discussing in the last class about the relation between them. Okay, what is the relation between them we have derived? That is gamma R is equals to gamma A plus gamma G. The relation is very important to solve the problems. Gamma R is equals to gamma A plus gamma G. Gamma R, real expansion, gamma A, apparent expansion, gamma G, the volume expansion of the glass. Sometimes what happens while you are solving the problem, instead of giving the volume coefficient of expansion of the glass, they will give you the linear expansion of the glass. If they will give the linear expansion of the glass, then at the place of gamma G, what have to substitute? You have to substitute the 3 alpha G. Then what happened to the formula here? Gamma R is equals to gamma A plus 3 alpha G. This is the formula. Okay, gamma R is equals to gamma A plus 3 alpha G. Here what is alpha G represent? The coefficient of linear expansion of the glass. Okay, these are the concepts we have discussed. And one more important concept we have discussed. Out of this gamma A and gamma R, which one is the greater one? So always gamma R is greater. Okay, gamma R is greater than gamma A. Okay, these are the concepts we have discussed in the last class. So today we are going to discuss what are the definitions and what are the formulas to find out the apparent expansion and the real expansion. So in this one there is no change. The formulas will be same because gamma A will represent the volume expansion. Gamma R is also represent the volume expansion. Only when the definition we are defining, then only there is a small change will be there, but the formula will be remain same. And at the time of solids, I already told you that whatever the coefficient of expansion you may take, either the solids or the liquids or the gases, all the types of the coefficients will have the same units, that is per degree Celsius. Okay, so let us see today what is the formula of gamma A, how can you define them, and what is the gamma R, how can we define them, and we are going to find out the values. And also we are going to find out how can we find out the final volume of the apparent expansion and what is the final value in the real expansion. That formulas also we are going to define here. Okay. So first we are going to discuss about the coefficient of apparent expansion. We are going to refer to the coefficient of apparent expansion that can be represented by gamma A, and the formula can be written as gamma A is equals to the coefficient of apparent expansion. Gamma A is equals to V2 minus V1 by V1 into delta T. Here delta T represents T2 minus T1 you can write. Okay. Gamma A is equals to V2 minus V1 by V1 into delta T. And what are the units are per degree Celsius. Okay, the units will be remain same per degree Celsius. Okay. Now refer to the terms here. V2 minus V1 represents the change in value. V1 represents initial value. That means in this one, what you can write, you can recognize V1 is the initial value at the temperature of T1 degree Celsius. And V2 is the final value at the temperature of T2 degree Celsius. That means when you are going to increase the temperature. So what happens here, when you are increasing the temperature, definitely volume increases, density decreases. What about mass? The mass will be remains constant because the mass does not changes. Very, very important point you have to remember. Okay, whenever you are giving the heat energy to a substance, okay, volume increases, density decreases, but mass will be remains constant. Okay, so these are the formulas I will be taking. Now it's the time for the definition. So the definition is very important. All of you must concentrate. We are going to define as easily as like in the solids. Okay, if you can able to remember the definition in the case of solids, then it will becomes very easy to define here also. So V2 minus V1 represents the change in value. Which value it is? Apparent value or the real value? Apparent value. That's what you have to mention while you are defining this equation. Okay. So V2 minus V1 represents the change in apparent volume of the liquid. V1 represents initial volume of the liquid. Delta T represents change in temperature. This change in temperature you are making it equals to 1 degree Celsius. That means you are increasing the temperature by 1 degree Celsius only. So then what will remain here? If delta T will be equals to 1, then numerator changing value, denominator initial value. Now how can you define it? Refer to the definition very carefully. The ratio of the apparent change in volume of the liquid. Okay, the ratio of apparent change in volume of the liquid to its initial value per 1 degree centigrade rise of temperature is called the coefficient of apparent expansion of that particular liquid. Okay, so you must use that apparent and real. That is a very important. Okay, the ratio of the apparent change in volume of the liquid to its initial value per 1 degree centigrade rise of temperature is called the coefficient of apparent expansion. Now, do you remember how do you write down the final volume formula? I think all of you remember. The final volume V2 is equals to V1 into V1 into 1 plus gamma A into T2 minus T1. This is the formula to find out the volume coefficient of expansion. Oh, sorry, that is represents the final volume of the liquid. V2 is equals to V1 into 1 plus gamma A into T2 minus T1. V2 final volume, V1 initial value, and gamma A represents coefficient of apparent expansion. Okay, this is the first type of the expansion of the liquid. Okay, if you know this gamma A, then it will becomes very easy for gamma R also. When I go to refer to the gamma R, again the formula will be same. Only the symbol is going to be changes. That is, gamma R is equals to. Okay, gamma R is equals to. What is the formula I can write? V2 minus V1 by V1 into delta T. Gamma R is equals to V2 minus V1 by V1 into delta T. What is V1 represents? Initial value at the temperature of T1 degree Celsius. V2 represents final value at the temperature of T2 degree Celsius. Delta T represents change in temperature. Okay. Now, units. What are the units will be? Units are again same per degree Celsius or degree Celsius inverse you can take. Now, it's a time for the definition. So, when I go to refer to the definition, here how can you define it? V2 minus V1 represents the real change in volume of the liquid. Here what you have used? Apparent change in volume of the liquid, and what you have used? Real change in volume of the liquid. And V1 represents initial value. Delta T represents temperature difference. And how much temperature is increasing? Only 1 degree Celsius you are increasing. That means whenever you are going to define it, try to make the denominators will be equals to 1 unit. So that's why delta T will be equals to 1 unit. That means the temperature is increased by only 1 degree Celsius. Now, gamma R is equals to V2 minus V1 by V1 into delta T. If delta T is equals to 1, the change in real volume of the liquid, the initial value. Now, tell me how can you define it? The ratio of, the real change in volume of the liquid to the initial volume of the liquid per 1 degree centigrade rise of temperature is called the coefficient of real expansion of the liquid. Okay, the coefficient of the real expansion of the liquid. Gamma R is equals to V2 minus V1 by V1 into delta T. The units are same per degree Celsius. Now, how could you write down the final volume formula in the case of real expansion? In the case of real expansion, if you want to write down the final volume V2 is equals to V1 into 1 plus gamma R into delta T. This is the final volume formula. The final volume V2 is equals to V1 into 1 plus gamma R into delta T. So read the problem very carefully. In the problem, they are mentioning the apparent expansion or they are mentioning the real expansion. Based on that, you need to take the formula. If they are measuring the apparent expansion, use the first formula to find out the final value. If they are measuring the real expansion or calculating the real expansion, then use the second formula, this formula, to find out the final value. So overall, this is the two types of the expansions in the case of liquids, their formulas and the definitions and the units. So which are very, very important one here. Okay, coefficient of apparent expansion, coefficient of real expansion. So our next concept we are going to discuss, which one is also very important for the competitive part. Okay, so the relation between gamma R and gamma A. So the relation between gamma R and gamma A, what you have to know that what is the apparent expansion and what is the real expansion. Yesterday we are going to take an example. Okay, a round bottomed long neck glass flask we are going to take. In that one, what is the apparent expansion means? The expansion we are observing will be called as a apparent expansion. Real expansion means the real expansion of the liquid, from which point to which point it is expanding, that is called the real expansion. Okay, so we have to find out that relation. So based on that relation, in the examination they are going to ask few conditions. Okay, based on that conditions we need to explain that whether the liquid level is going to be increases or the liquid level is going to be decreases when we are going to complete the initial value. For example, this is a long neck round bottom flask. We are going to take the liquid up to this level. So according to the given condition, we have to find out that from this point is the liquid level rises or the liquid level decreases. That we have to explain. There are the few conditions are there which are very important for the competitive part. Okay, all of you must concentrate. I am going to redraw the diagram, say yesterday's diagram. A long neck round bottom flask I am going to be taking here. So this is a long neck round bottom flask I am taking. This is the open. Okay, this is the round bottom flask we are taking here. Okay, this is a round bottom flask. And first initially we are going to take the liquid level up to the point A. Okay, all of you must concentrate on this part, it is very important. We are going to take the liquid level up to the point A. First what happens, we have started the heating the glass flask. First the glass flask will give expands. Then what happens, the liquid level will be decreases up to B. Liquid level decreases up to B. After that what happens, the liquid will takes the heat energy, and what happens, the liquid will starts expanding. And we already know that the expansion of the liquid is maximum or greater than the expansion of the solids. That's why what happens, again the liquid level rises and it is going to reach the point C. Okay, it is going to reach the point C. Okay. Now, there are the three locations or the three positions are there, A, B, C. Now, whatever the expansion we are observing, from which point to which point you can observe, we are going to observe only from A to C only. In actually what happened, first the liquid level decreases, after that it will be increases. But the human eye will not going to be observed because it is very less value. That's why you can't able to identify. What you can identify, up to what level we are taking and up to what level it is increasing. So that means this one we are going to be observed. That's why it will be called as a gamma A. After that, this AB represents the expansion of the glass flask, because the glass flask is expanding. That's why it is coming A to B. So that's why it will be represented by gamma G. And what about this BC? In actually the liquid is expanding from B to C. That's why this BC is going to be called as gamma R. Okay, I think all of you know these concepts we are already discussed in the last class. Let us write down the relation here. From this diagram, what is the relation you can write? Gamma R is equals to gamma A plus gamma G. Gamma R is equals to gamma A plus gamma G. This is the relation we are going to take. And what is the apparent expansion means? Whatever the expansion we are observing, that is the apparent expansion. From this equation, write down the apparent expansion. Apparent expansion, gamma A is equals to gamma A is equals to gamma G is coming to left side, it will becomes minus. Then what you can write, gamma R minus gamma G. This is the relation you need to remember to find out the different conditions itself. Okay, for the different conditions, what I will take, we are going to take, these are the conditions I take. Now, go to the conditions. First, I am going to take case 1. Okay, case 1. Before that, all of you know the terms. Coefficient of apparent expansion, what we are observing. Coefficient of real expansion from B to C. And gamma G, the coefficient of expansion of the liquid or the glass flask. Okay, now, case 1. What is the case 1? We will explain that if Okay, if gamma g is equals to 0, if gamma g is equals to 0, what happens? If gamma g is equals to 0, on that condition, what happens? Gamma a is equals to gamma r. Okay, gamma a is equals to gamma r. That means gamma a is equals to gamma r. This is the condition will be takes place. If gamma a is equals to gamma r, what does that mean? Is the liquid will be expanding? That means from this point A, is the liquid level rises or decreases or remains same? What is happening here? First, why the liquid level is decreasing here? The liquid level is decreasing because the glass flask is expanding. When the glass flask is expanding, then only what happens? The liquid level decreases. If gamma g is equals to 0, what does that mean? Gamma g is equals to 0 means the flask is not expanding. If the flask is not expanding, then what happens to the liquid level? Remains same. Okay, the liquid level will remain same because from which point you are observing, up to what point you are taking, up to point A you are taking. And what is gamma A is equals to gamma R? Gamma A is at the same point and gamma A is also same the point. That means at this point you are going to take in the liquid, and at this point the liquid is there after heating also. That means what happens here, the gamma R is equals to gamma A means the liquid level does not increases or does not decreases. Okay, this is the condition you have to remember. When it is going to be obtained, when gamma g is equals to 0. Okay, whenever the volume coefficient of the flask will be 0, that means whenever this flask is not expanding, on that condition, so what happened? Both are equal and the liquid level does not increases or does not decreases. Okay, this is the case 1. Next, we are going for the case 2. Case 2. Okay, remember all these conditions are important for competitive part. Case 2. In the case 2, what I is saying that condition is given that gamma r is greater than gamma g. Okay, what is the condition is they are given? Gamma r is greater than gamma g. That means the real expansion is greater than the volume expansion. If gamma r is greater than gamma g, from this equation, what you are going to get gamma a value? Is it positive or negative? Gamma r is maximum means it is positive. Gamma g is minimum and it is negative. Obviously, gamma a is positive. That means if this condition is satisfied, then what happened? Gamma a is positive. Okay, gamma a is positive. If gamma a is positive, then what happened? The liquid level rises. Because gamma a is positive means gamma a is maximum. Gamma a is maximum means the liquid level does not stop here. The liquid level increases. Okay, this is the very important point you have to remember. Okay, gamma r is greater than gamma a, then gamma a will becomes positive and the liquid level in the container is going to be rises. Next one, we are going to take the case 3. Okay, case 3. Case 3 are taking that if, okay, case 3 are taking that if gamma r is less than gamma g. Okay, what is the condition you are taking? Gamma r is less than gamma g. If gamma r is less than gamma g, what happened to the relation here? Gamma r is less, gamma g is more. Negative value is more, positive value is less. Obviously, what happened to gamma a will becomes negative. That means that implies gamma a is negative. Okay, gamma a is negative. I think now you understood. What is going to be happens when gamma a is negative? Then definitely what happened? The liquid level decreases. Okay, so these are the 3 cases you need to remember, which are very important for the competitive. First condition, gamma j is equals to 0. When the flask is not expanding, the liquid level will be remain same because gamma r and gamma a is both are at the same point. Second case, gamma r is greater than gamma g. If gamma r is greater than gamma g, then gamma a is positive. If gamma a is positive, definitely what happens? The liquid level in the container increases. Next, case 3. If gamma r is less than gamma g, if gamma r is less than gamma g, then obviously what happens? Gamma a value will becomes negative. Whenever the gamma a value will becomes negative, then definitely what happens? The liquid level decreases in the container. Okay, so these are the conditions you need to remember, which are very, very important. So next concept we are going to discuss about the relation of density with the temperature. How the density of the liquid is going to be changes with the temperature, which is a very important. And the same formula again we are going to take as like in the solids also. In the solids, what happened when you are going to increase the temperature? Then what happened? The volume increases, density decreases, but the mass will be remains same. Okay. So do you remember that formula? What is the density relation with the temperature? In the case of solids, what you are taking? Gamma. Okay. Whenever you are going to think about the density, you should not use the linear and the areal expansion, because the linear expansion only change in length, areal expansion only change in area, but the density depends on the volume. So that's why what you are going to take? You are going to take the volume coefficient. Okay. In the case of solids, what is the volume coefficient? Can be represented by gamma. Gamma is equals to what is the formula? D1 minus D2 by D2 into delta T. This is the formula of the volume coefficient or the effect of temperature on the density. Okay. So what is the relation here? Inversely proportional. When you are going to increase the temperature, density is going to be decreases. If I write down the final value, what is the final density formula? Final density D2 is equals to D1 into 1 plus we have to take or minus we have to take. Because in the case of volume, if you are going to increase the temperature, volume increases. But in the case of density, if you can increase the temperature, density decreases. D2 final density, D1 initial density, and the final density should be less. Less means what I have to take? Minus. Okay, you must remember this difference. Okay. So D1 into 1 minus gamma into delta T. This is the final density formula in the case of solids. Now, in the case of liquids, which one you have to take? Apparent expansion you have to take or the real expansion you have to take? So no doubt we have to take the real expansion. Okay. In the case of liquids, if you want to explain about the change in density with the temperature, then you should not use the gamma A value, only you have to use the real expansion of the value. Okay, when you are going to use the real expansion of the value, what happened to the formula? Gamma R is equals to, okay, gamma R is equals to coefficient of real expansion. The same formula you have to write, D1 minus D2 by D2 into delta T. This is the relation between the density and the temperature in the case of liquids. Same type of change, no change will be there. Okay, gamma R is equals to D1 minus D2 by D2 into delta T. Okay, units are again same because change in density, here density, units cancels. In denominator, what is there? Temperature. So what are the units will be per degree Celsius. In the case of liquids, if you want to write down what is the final density formula, final density D2 is equals to what you can write? D1 into 1 plus or minus, minus we have to take 1 minus, which one you have to take? Real expansion, coefficient of real expansion, that is gamma R into delta T. So this is the final density in the case of liquids when the temperature is increased. Okay, so this is the relation between the temperature and the density in the case of liquids. Okay, don't be confused. These two are belongs to solids and these two are belongs to liquids. Okay, so these are the concepts you need to remember. Okay, so what we have discussed today, we have discussed what is the definition of gamma A and gamma R, and try to remember the definitions which are very important. A small change only is there, remaining will be same. After that, we have discussed about the few conditions in the case of gamma R, gamma A and gamma G, and those three conditions are very important for the competitive part. After that, we have discussed about the density, okay, the effect of density on the temperature, or the effect of temperature on the density. Okay, these are the equations you are going to take. So always remember, when you are going to increase the temperature, what happens? Volume increases, density decreases, mass will be remains constant. Okay, so that's all for today. See you in the next class with the next concept. Okay, thank you.